Okay, so we're having a look at example 1 from the chapter 7 on the applied, so stats. And it's basically asking us the question of, is a coin biased towards heads? So when we flip a coin, we're asking the question, is it biased towards coming up heads? They then say, well, X is going to be the number of heads that we see in 8 throws of that coin. And we're asked a few different questions here. We're not really going into too much maths in a minute, but this is just a setup that we're going to need to know for all these types of questions. So firstly, what is the test statistic? Well, the test statistic is what are we testing? What is the thing that we're looking for? What is the thing that we're measuring? The thing that we're measuring here is the X, the number of heads in 8 throws. So that is what we are measuring, therefore that is the test statistic. What is the null hypothesis? Now, from the other video that you would have seen, I described the null hypothesis as what we just assume it to be anyway. Now, I'm not going to assume that the coin is biased. This is just somebody saying, well, is that coin biased? I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume that it's a normal coin. And typically, this is what we're going to do for all of them. We're going to assume that what it should be is what it is. So the null hypothesis is written as a capital H with a subscript 0 with a colon, and then for this one we are assuming that the probability that it lands heads up is the same as landing tails up. So we're going to assume it's a fair coin, so we're going to say, well, we'd assume that the probability is 0.5. Okay, so the probability that it lands heads up is 0.5. And then we go to my alternative hypothesis. Now the alternative hypothesis is based on the suggestion that somebody else has made. So this person, John, is now saying, well, actually, I think this coin could be biased towards heads. Now what would that mean here? What that means here is that I would predict that the probability wouldn't be equal to 0.5. What would it be? Well, if it's biased towards head, I would say it's greater than 0.5. And then that is my setup. Okay, that is my setup for the large majority of these questions. I state my null hypothesis, my alternative hypothesis, and I've got my test statistic, and realistically we could say, well, we're going to be measuring this as a binomial distribution, 8 throws, and we're going to go on the assumption that P is 0.5 to begin with, but we can put the P in here, and this is what we're testing. Okay, the null hypothesis testing that this is 0.5, is it fair? The alternative hypothesis, greater than 0.5, that's to say, is it biased towards heads?